gosh. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to see you here. I'm Reverend Mary Shelton. I'm the senior minister here at Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. And if you're with us for the first time, I'll do a special greeting later on. This is probably an odd morning for everybody. How many of you are without power? Aha, okay. Well, you made it here anyway, and that's really good. This is the 6th week of our 8-week consciousness program, moving toward our pledge for 2020. It's called Let It Shine. Now, Galen, did you do them this morning? Did they get them? No, I just... Okay. Let's do that. You're going to receive. So today the theme is receptivity. You're going to receive something. This gift was provided by Galen and Mark Cooper. And we want everybody to have this. It's something you can take home and use. And it will just remind you of all of this that we've been doing and how important it is to let your light shine. And so in just a minute, while that's happening, we're going to go ahead and sing our theme song. Are you guys ready back there with that? Okay. So this is our theme song, Let It Shine, by Karen Drucker. And I'm going to invite you to stand up. And you may not feel like shining much today, but I want you to shine from the inside now. Don't be worrying about the fire on the outside. Let's pay attention to the fire on the inside. Can we do that for a few minutes? Hello? Can we do that for a few minutes? Wow, nobody's paying any attention at all. Hi! Hi! Let's jump up and down. I would like you to get into your bodies now. Yes, come back from wherever it is you have been. And we're going to sing. Here we go. Gonna be the first on the dance floor, the first to raise my hand, the first to state my opinion, the first to take a stand. I won't play it safe or wait for a sign. I'm gonna throw myself out there and let my light shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Okay, you can dance a little. I'll be on Oprah and Conan, 60 Minutes and The View. They'll be talking about me and all the things I do. I'll be the one who sets the bar, the one who's in the know. Vogue will come to me to see where fashion trends will go. 'Cause I shine, yes I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. For too many years I hid my light, thinking I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light. Give and receive love. Going for my dreams. Nothing's in my way. Carpe diem is my mantra. Practice kindness every day. I take time to connect. Time to have fun. I want to use every drop before my life is done. Oh, I shine. Yes, I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Okay, dance. Dance with your partner. Move around. Get back in your body. For too many years, I hid my light, fearing I was too much and who I was just wasn't right. Then I heard this voice from within and up above saying, you're here to be a shining light. Give and receive love. I am a person of power, a being of grace. The life that I've lived's written every wrinkle on my face. I love myself so I can love you too. And I know when we're connected, there ain't nothing we can't do. So let's shine. Let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. See you shine. Yes, you shine. I see your big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Watch me shine. Yes, I shine. I let my big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Let's all shine. Let's let our big, bright, brilliant beam of radiant light shine. Woo! Excellent, 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 excellent. Okay, so coming in the door today, you did get your little affirmation card and your commitment card, I believe. If you did not, raise your hand and we will try to get them to you. Eric has them right here. And so this is the 6th week of the program, and we have a poster that looks just like that. And you should have received a magnet that looks like that. Did everybody get one? And that is your gift from Golden Gate on behalf of us via Galen and Mark Cooper as their gifts to remind us. So those can go any place that you've got metal that you can stick it up where it can remind you. And today is the 27th of October. So if you're willing to be receptive this week, if you're willing to enter that practice, take your little commitment card that says, I let receptivity shine through me, and put your name on there in a legible fashion. And the date is 10/27/19. These are going to get turned in with the offering today, so hang on to them for right now. And this just says that you're committed to being receptive this week. How many of you think that you're a better giver than receiver? Oh, yeah, okay. So this week you get to practice doing something that's a little different for you, which is tuning in and being receptive to the gifts that are coming to you. And so now we're going to do the affirmation together. So I invite you to stand one more time. I am going to keep you in your bodies today if it's the last thing I do. Well, no, it won't be the last thing. And let's all say this together. Receptivity shines through me as openness and availability. Beautiful. Okay, you can be seated. Beautiful, beautiful. So today, I let receptivity shine through me. That is our theme for today, receptivity. And so that means our ability to let in. It's not an effort thing that we're talking about. And it's interesting to look at this concept of receptivity while we're in the midst of this fire season and people being evacuated and moving all over the place. Because one of the things that happens when we get disrupted like that is that we have to open up to receive because we can't manage our basic needs the way we normally would for those who are being evacuated. I know the Santa Rosa Church intended to be open today, and then they got mandatory evacuation. So they're not open today either. And so, and Cece's not here because she got evacuated at 5:30 this morning. She lives in Santa Rosa. And so, you know, what we want to be aware of is that as our friends and family members, how many of you know somebody who's been evacuated? How many of you know more than one family who's been evacuated? So we have, just right here in our community, the effect of having people that we know, and maybe people that are part of us as well, who live up there, who have been evacuated to someplace. Some homes have been lost. I don't know about any of ours, our people. And they are part of us. So when we are in the midst of this, with smoke appearing and everything, we're receiving a vibration that is jangled because of what's going on in the North Bay, and because there are people worried about us. You know, I'm getting emails and Facebook messages and stuff from people going, "Are you okay?" So in the midst of all that, it's important for us to be receptive of the universe's support, and also for us to be what we can in relationship to that, not only in terms of receiving it, but also receiving those who need support as well, at a greater level than we might normally do. Is this making sense so far? So speaking of receptivity, because it is Halloween in a couple of days, one chilly Halloween, a teenage trick-or-treater came to my door dressed as Rocky Balboa, complete with boxing gloves, a cape, and satin shorts. And I admired his costume as well as his stamina in the cold weather, and I tossed some goodies into his sack. A few minutes later, I discovered how he was saving time filling his sack in the cold more quickly. The doorbell rang, and when I opened the door, there he was again. I said, "Aren't you the same Rocky that was here just a little while ago?" "Yeah," he said, "but now I'm the sequel. I'll be back 3 more times tonight." Receptivity was not his problem. In fact, he was going about it in a very ingenious way to open up to the opportunity to receive. And so, there is receptivity and there is receiving. So, receiving is accepting what's offered with grace and gratitude. Receiving what's offered with grace and gratitude. And to be receptive or receptivity is open, willing, available, and attentive. So, receptivity is an atmosphere of welcome that is aware of being open and welcoming. So it's not an unconscious thing, it's a conscious thing. And in order for us to be that level of receptivity, we are going to need time. We have to have time. We have to have quiet. We have to be relaxed, and we have to let go. When we are in that state, we are receptive. You know, radio antennas, they're receivers. Transmitters do transmitting, receivers do receiving, obviously. You can tell I'm an electronic genius here. But the idea is that if we are aware of being receptive, then our eyes are open, our hearts are open, we're curious and available. So here we are this morning in this space that at noon today, and maybe sooner, is going to be opened up to the community as a charging and rest station and also as a shelter. And they'll be bringing beds in here. At some point this morning, maybe while we're here, the town clerk or the city clerk or city manager or both of them will be coming in with somebody else to just look around the periphery and think about how many beds they can put in here for people. And so if that happens sooner rather than later, we may suddenly recognize that we're complete, whether we thought so or not. So we are tuned into this larger community now to be receptive to what's needed so that we can support the community with our participation and cooperation. Does that make sense? So I'm just alerting you to that because I have my phone on up here so that if she needs to text me and say, "Okay, thanks, you're done," that I'll know that. So we are open, receptive, attentive, available, and what we would be receiving then is the opportunity to step back and let go. And who knows what Spirit could give us in replacement for that. When we're looking at receiving, I think it's important for us in deciding whether we're being receptive or not, to ask ourselves this question: are you willing to receive? Are you willing? So what does it mean to receive? In many circumstances, what it means is to welcome something unexpected that's a surprise, that's meant with good intentions for you, whether it's what you wanted or not. It's being available and curious about what's out there in the greater yet to be. What are the possibilities? What is the universe trying to say to us? And opening our hearts up to that so that we receive it. And we might not receive it in a linear way. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a thought in English that completes what you're looking for. It might instead be a hunch or a feeling. It might be something unexpected that shows up to give you a blessing or an encouragement or to welcome you or draw you forward. 2 years ago, when Amanda and I were evacuated during the fires then, we stayed down here with Suzanne Karch for a week. She opened up her home to us. And so we were very grateful to receive that, as you might imagine. People who are evacuating now are going to shelters, they're going to all kinds of places to be received. And they have to be open to accepting that help, to receiving that help. And sometimes we think that being receptive is somehow embarrassing, that we're needing something. And that is a false humility. So being receptive is welcoming what the universe is bringing to us and not judging it and not judging ourselves either way. So we might ask ourselves, well, if we think we're willing to receive, then let's ask, what am I willing to receive? Is there anything I'm not willing to receive? When am I willing to receive it? Am I willing to receive it when I retire, when the kids go to college, when I've got my car paid off, when I'm finally fit? Or am I willing to receive it now? If not now, when? How am I willing to receive it? One of the things we teach in our classes when we teach people how to pray is not to try and figure out how the thing is going to happen that they want. How am I going to find some place to stay? How am I going to get a new job or a new car or a new relationship? How is that going to happen? Well, God, let me tell you how that needs to happen. I need to get a low-interest loan. I need to find a good deal. I need to be able to find it in Marin County. I need, and all of a sudden God is going, whoa, you just closed a whole lot of doors on me. Rather, we say, get clear about what we want to welcome, and then just make space for the universe to create that in the right and best ways, given everything that we don't know. Are you here with me? Okay, so that's the how question. Then the question is, from whom? Are there people we're not willing to receive from? People that we have a grudge against? Not that they're untrustworthy people, just that we have some kind of beef with them, or they hurt our feelings in the past or something. And so we don't really want to ask them for anything. We don't really want to need anything from them. We don't especially want them to know that we need something, and we don't want to receive it from them. Anybody recognize this? Anybody? So what happens with that is we're also shutting a door. We're telling God, I will receive in any way but this. And that is not what we practice and teach in Science of Mind. What we practice and teach is that we allow the universe to respond to us in the way that's most appropriate for us in that moment, whether we understand why it looks that way or not, rather than trying to become the director of the universe in relationship to our own life. And I think it's important for us to recognize, too, that sometimes when we're not willing to receive, it's because we think we haven't earned it yet. We don't deserve it. You're here, you're mostly breathing in and out, so your worthiness is already established. You don't have to do anything else to be worthy. The universe had need of you here. It wanted you here. It created you to be here. Same is true for me. That establishes worthiness. It does not require you to go out and earn a whole bunch of worthiness or make up for bad behavior, although that doesn't hurt. But the universe doesn't require that to bring you the influx of what you need if you are willing to be open to that and receive it. Does that make sense? I should stop saying that. I know it makes sense. I just mostly say that to make sure that I'm still awake and you're still awake. Stephen Levine said, non-attachment is not the elimination of desire. Let me say that again. Non-attachment is not the elimination of desire. It is the spaciousness to allow any quality of mind, any thought or feeling to arise without closing around it, without eliminating the pure witness of being It is an active receptivity to life. So this means that instead of working hard to not feel angry, or to not feel depressed, or to not feel anxious, or any of those things we consider to be negatives, it is to step back from letting them run our responses to things and witness the feeling and love the feeler that's having that feeling. And when we can do that, we make a larger space of love for ourselves and for other people. So when we notice the impulse to push something away that we don't want to have to look at because it seems too ugly, or when we notice the desire to grab on and hold on to somebody or something because we feel like we need it, rather than actually doing those things which we have the impulse to do, what Stephen Levine is saying is make spaciousness around it to experience and witness the feeling without thinking it means that we have to do that thing that is our habit in response to the feeling that is uncomfortable. And that is brilliant, I think. The kids are even cheering for it. Ernest Holmes says this in The Science of Mind. This is our founder, Ernest Holmes. If we would come to the universal wholeness, we must approach it through the law of its own nature. We find our particular good through the unity of life. This conscious unity makes our mind receptive to completion, since life itself is complete. This perception is always an inner light. For the individual can only use such knowledge as he inwardly possesses. We can't claim a God we never feel. If it's only an idea, then it doesn't live in us at the times that we need to rely on something the most. You know, Cassandra's song this morning about being rooted in the ground. And you know, we live in earthquake country, and fire country, and flood country. What's the other one? Drought. You know, when I first moved here, they said to me, welcome to California. We have 4 seasons: fire, flood, earthquake, and drought. Now, I've been here most of the time since 1986, and I've experienced all of those things in California. And sometimes that can make you feel that being rooted in the ground isn't quite as safe as you might like it to be. So let us root ourselves in the ground of spirit, so that no matter where we go, no matter what we're doing, we are grounded. We are grounded in something solid and present, unchanging, always with us, and it's the essence of what we are. And we can claim this and know this for our loved ones, those who are, you know, up north, in the fire areas, in the evacuation areas, in the, evacuation warning areas. We can know that for them. And part of the way that we know it is relaxing. You know, all those kids out there playing soccer this morning and whooping and cheering, they're not aware in this moment of all that, or of smoke in the air. They're not aware of that at this moment because they're in celebration of what they're experiencing. And that is an equal reality for us in this moment as what we know is happening up around us in California. William James, the psychologist, said, the transition from tenseness, self-responsibility, and worry to equanimity, receptivity, and peace is the most wonderful of all those shiftings of inner equilibrium, those changes of personal center of energy, which I have analyzed so often. And the chief wonder of it is that it so often comes about not by doing, but by simply relaxing and throwing the burden down. And so, listening, sacred listening. So this beautiful desert view of the Milky Way, you can imagine being out in that, is a space of sacred listening. And even though that's the desert, Bodhi's going to do a song for you right now. Come on down. That I asked him at 7 o'clock this morning if he could do in the service today. And bless his heart, he pulled it together. And so he's going to do this. And what I want you to do with this is go into listening in prayer and let it be just hanging out with the divine mystery and allowing what is without effort. But we're going to envision and experience inwardly for ourselves and for our friends rain.
You all know this song. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. Dreamed of rain, and the rains came, peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer, and the winds changed, and the green was easy, and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer, and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert, the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose. The way was easy, and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars were shining, and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of freedom, and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven, and the earth sang. The sound was easy, and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven, and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the ancient pain is forgotten, and the Father's debts are clear. I dreamed of heaven, and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain, and the rains came.
Thank you for being receptive this morning to sacred listening. Namaste.